Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit, hanging out in the hot tub right now. I'm actually going back and forth in between the hot tub at my house and the ice barrel right next to me. It's an adventure, to say the least. It's probably about 39, 40 degrees, the water, but I tell you, it's a euphoric feeling going in and out of the hot and the cold, the hot and the cold. But in any event, in today's video, I wanted to have a discussion with you. It's actually the last day of the year right now. This video will probably come out maybe in a week from now. But I wanted to talk about how I lost about 40 pounds this year. So at the end of 2023, I hit an all-time high in my weight. I just created a lot of bad habits. I was eating out all the time. I wasn't going to the gym. I just got soft. I got too focused on just work and making money. And I hit record numbers in my business in 2023. And 2024 was great as well. Actually, matter of fact, I did just as well, a little bit better actually. But I told myself the lie of, hey, if I want to crush it in business, if I want to hit record numbers in my Amazon store, if I want to hit record numbers in my finances, then I've got to put that first. And the truth is, it's a lie. And I ended up having a car hit my house at the end of 2023. I posted about it, and I was just eating out a ton and just gained a ton of weight. I ended up getting up to about 235 pounds by the end of the year. And one thing that I've realized is you could have all the success you want in business. You could hit record numbers in your business and finances. You could be selling more items than ever, which, I have been in my Amazon business. But the fact is, at least for me, if you're out of shape, if you feel like crap, if you're not happy with what you see in the mirror, especially if you don't feel good, none of it really matters. There's a quote that says, you got a million problems in your life until you have a health problem. And when you have a health problem, you only have one problem. I decided in 2024 I was going to change that. And I wasn't perfect. Honestly, I wasn't perfect. I did lose 40 pounds, but I wasn't perfect. And I wanted to just share in this video what I did to lose 40 pounds, talk about some of the things that I practiced, some of the new habits, because I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos, you're going through the same struggles that I went through. Maybe you want to lose some weight. You want to have more energy. You want to feel better. You want to be able to look in the mirror and feel good about yourself. And deep down inside, and I knew this as well, when I'm healthy, when I feel good, when I'm fit, when I'm losing weight, when I'm really focused on, being the best version of myself and putting your health first is one of the best ways to do it, man, the results explode in all areas of your life. Seriously, if you were 20, 30 pounds lighter or in better shape or had more energy or felt better or weren't wasting so much time trying to squeeze into your clothes and feeling like crap and mentally beating yourself up, imagine how much your business would grow. Imagine how much happier you would be, right? It's crazy how we tell ourselves the lie, and that's what I did, that, if I want to make as much money as possible and grow my business, I got to put my business first. And the reality is, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. So I want to talk about some of the things that I did in 2024 to be able to lose about 40 pounds, okay? So I'm going to start with number one. And this isn't like health advice. I'm not telling you what to do, right? Everybody's different. Obviously consult a doctor or do your own research, but I'm just talking about what I did, okay? There's many ways. I hate the saying, my three cats better not be listening. Matter of fact, I see you up there, Potter. She's in the window. There's many ways to skin a cat, right? There's tons of diets and strategies, and we all have different metabolisms, but this is what I did, okay? Let me just cut to the chase. Number one, the best habit that I created in 2024 is I started tracking all the food that I ate. Okay, so I use an app called MyFitnessPal app. I used to use Lose It. I ended up switching to MyFitnessPal app because I hired a health coach and it integrates with his software and his app and whatnot. But the best thing you can do is literally get an app like Lose It or MyFitnessPal app and just start becoming conscious of what you're eating. Take the time. This is what I did. I took the time to, before I ate something, I would weigh it out. I would measure it, even if it wasn't the healthiest meal in the world. Like, for example, maybe I was having, some peanut butter on top of some Greek yogurt, which is fantastic, or some almond butter. Before, I used to just scoop a bunch out, throw it on, and eat it. Well, when I started measuring it and weighing it, I couldn't realize, I couldn't believe I was eating like 300 calories of almond butter. So that was one example. And when I started to kind of measure how much rice I was eating, especially like the really carby things, because that was my temptation. When I started measuring it and I started to realize, wow, I'm overeating like crazy. I don't need all this. I cut back and I saved a significant amount of calories. So first thing, start tracking the foods you're eating. You don't even have to commit to a diet. You don't have to commit to cutting all your calories and starving yourself. I didn't starve myself at all this year, but start becoming conscious, right? It's the same thing in business. You know, if you're not measuring your income, if you're not measuring your expenses, how much money you're spending, if you're not reading your credit card statements, it's really hard to grow your net worth because you're not measuring. You can't manage what you don't measure. So that's step number one. I started religiously monitoring what I ate, tracking it, and putting it in the app, tracking how many calories I was eating, tracking my macros. And then step two after that is I ended up hiring a personal trainer at my gym, and we pretty much discovered an amount of calories that I could eat to be able to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And I wasn't perfect with that. Matter of fact, during the first 6, 7, 8 months of the year, I yo-yoed a little bit. I would always track things, but I wouldn't always hit my calories. Sometimes I would eat 300 or 400 calories over. But what it did is, instead of me gaining weight every week, I would maintain, or I would lose a little bit. And I did that for probably the first 20, 25 pounds, right? I wasn't starving. I wasn't on some crazy diet. I was just measuring the foods I was eating. I was tracking it. I was consciously, hey, if I ended up binge eating, at least I would measure it and track it, right? I was becoming conscious. But there were, probably 50% of the days where I ate in a calorie deficit, 200 calories, 300, 400, 500. I started losing weight because I was doing the opposite of what I was doing before. The opposite is just eat whatever you want. Don't measure anything. Eat when you're hungry and just keep going. Have another stack of rice. Put as much almond butter on as possible, right? Just eat as many slices of pizza, versus tracking it and measuring it, right? And you don't have to be perfect with that, but that was a huge change. So started measuring, tracking my food, and then I started shooting for a calorie goal, okay? Another big thing that worked for me is I started to track my protein and focus on hitting my protein goals. So for me personally, I was shooting for anywhere from like 160 to 200 grams of protein per day. And by eating more protein, I felt more satiated, more full, and it was easier to fight off the hunger cravings, which you're gonna have in the beginning. But also a big thing too is I started working out. I started going to the gym. I started lifting weights, nothing crazy. I wasn't, living there all the time, although I was going, 4 or 5 times a week. Some weeks I would go every day. Some weeks it would be 3 or 4 times. But I started lifting weights, resistance training, doing cardio. And by eating an adequate amount of protein, when you lose weight, instead of losing your muscle, the weight is more fat loss, right? Maybe you're not going to lose as much weight as if you ate really low protein, because then you'd be losing weight, which would be fat and a lot of muscle. But that really helped for me. Not only did the protein help satiate me, but it helped keep my muscle on, helped keep my strength on, and I felt a lot better. So started tracking my calories, worked with my trainer. So we started training together 3-4 times a week. I worked with him about once a week, started focusing on a protein goal every single day, hitting protein goals. And those were the big things right there, honestly. Just tracking the foods, right? Being conscious, making better decisions too. Instead of eating a bowl of ice cream, I would have Greek yogurt with some sugar-free maple syrup with maybe a little bit of berries in it, right? Instead of eating a whole pizza, right, and going crazy, maybe having a whole grain tortilla with some fat-free cheese on it, with some tomato sauce, just making slow, steady, better decisions. So those are the big things I did. Towards the end of the year, I did really dial in my diet. And in the last 7 weeks, I've released almost 12 pounds now. That's because I've really dialed in on my nutrition. I hired a health coach. Yeah, he has an app. There's accountability every single day. He reaches out to me. He put together a workout program, a nutrition program for me. But honestly, I'm not trying to go 0 to 100. Slow and steady. I was listening to one of my friends who lost a whole bunch of weight, and he's just gotten jacked and ripped now. And he says the faster you lose your weight, the faster it comes back on, because you're trying to cheat the system. You're not creating really good habits. If you go super duper extreme with your diet, and it's the same with business, right? If you go so extreme, start working 18, 20-hour days, yeah, you might have a whole bunch of results, but you're going to end up burning yourself out. And the same goes with health and nutrition. I'm focused on creating good habits, drinking plenty of water, right? Taking my supplements, which these are small things, getting a good sleep. I mean, they're big, but the biggest thing is like a calorie deficit, tracking my foods, going to the gym, lifting weights. But I'm trying to create better habits, right? And mentally telling myself, I have nothing without my health. You can make all the money in the world, but guess what? You could always make more money. If your health gets too bad, you could be gone. I mean, honestly, you could come down with a disease. You could come down with a serious health problem. And for me, nothing tastes better than feeling healthy. I don't know if I said that correctly, but I'll tell you right now, just waking up and not having to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm so bloated, I can't fit into my clothes, I don't want to, socialize because people are going to be judging me, so on and so forth. Plus, I want to inspire people, I want to motivate people, and I've certainly been able to do that, which feels great. So those are the big things I've done. Okay, that's what I've been doing, and I'd like to know down below if anybody has a goal of losing weight, getting healthy. For me, my big goal right now is I'm 195.4. My goal is I'm going to get down to around 170 pounds by March, April. And then I am going to come out of the calorie deficit and focus on just a slow bulk. I hate to say bulk because a lot of people bulk and they gain 2 pounds a week and then they just get fat. I'm pretty much going to get to 170 pounds and hopefully I'll be around like 16 to 20% body fat. And I'm going to increase my calories probably. Right now I'm eating around 1,800 calories. I'll probably increase it to maybe 2,300, maintain maybe a little surplus. Maybe I gain, a fourth of a pound per week, and really focus on getting stronger, really focus on building muscle. I'll dial in my nutrition even more. I'll be obviously dialed in even more with my nutrition coach and my health coach that I'm working with. Because the thing is, when you're losing a pound to 2 pounds a week, at least for me, it's tough to hold on to the strength. The strength tends to go down a little bit because your mass is shrinking, you're eating less calories. I know some people can get stronger when they lose weight. For me, I'm getting a little bit weaker, just trying to preserve the little muscle that I have. But yeah, essentially I'm gonna get to 170 probably by March, April, and then really focus on building more muscle, getting stronger in the gym, and go from there. So yeah, let me know what your guys' goals are in terms of your health, and let me know your business goals as well. 2025 is going to be an incredible year, and for me, I'm putting my health first. I know I'm still going to crush it in business, 100%, guaranteed, but my health is going to be number one. Let me know about you. Much love, everybody. Bye.